pop it up right there. Let's talk Supreme Court. The bombshell ruling came down about 3 hours ago, so we reached out to Josh Kolsrud to get his take. So if a tariff law was either misused or misinterpreted at the White House, what happens next? I mean, we're in the... First, we want to get Josh's take, Celeste, on if he was surprised by the Supreme Court ruling. But then the next aspect is going to be, so where do we go from here?
Yeah, no kidding. Josh, welcome.
Thank you.
Friend, welcome back. Our legal eagle, we like to call him.
Right.
What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm not surprised by the ruling, only because of how the justices were asking questions during oral arguments. But I'll tell you what it means. It means that the Trump administration can no longer levy tariffs on other countries using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or the IEEPA. That's what he was using as his authority to levy these taxes. Now, the Supreme Court didn't say that the reasons behind the Trump administration doing this were wrong. They didn't say that this wasn't an emergency, that the fentanyl crisis wasn't an emergency. They were just saying that Congress has the sole authority to levy taxes, and they finally declared a tariff to be a tax. So that's what they were talking about. Now, your question about, what happens now?
Yes.
Well, all of the people that were importers, and only the importers can ask for refunds. And they're going to have to do that through Customs and Border Protection by filing a protest, is what it's called. And it starts the administrative process to do that. Now, it's not trillions of dollars that have been collected. It's about $130 billion that have been collected. It sounds like a lot, but
it does sound like a lot. Billion with a B, Ron.
Pull out that calculator, Celeste.
But in terms of affecting the overall world economy, it really is just a drop in the bucket.
Okay.
So I think that, for the Trump administration, I don't really think this is a loss. I think that they're looking at this look, our president's fighting. Yeah, he was wrong on this issue, but, he campaigned on doing this. He campaigned on levying taxes, and he did it. So it's a promise kept. And it's not his fault, according to his people, that, the Supreme Court ruled against him.
So they put the ball in the court of Congress, and of course we know they can hardly go around anything, so who knows where that would go. But haven't there been, in our nation's history, haven't there been presidents in the past that have instituted tariffs?
Oh, yes, there have. And the question, though, is breadth. How large were the tariffs, and where do they derive their authority? So the Supreme Court didn't throw out all of the tariffs, only the tariffs that have to do with the IEEPA. So a lot of the tariffs that Trump levied against steel and aluminum and even China are still being held into effect.
Okay, even though we just got word about an hour ago, the president has set a visit to China next month.
Yes.
So who knows how that will, play out. Is there a workaround?
Yes,
I had heard that the White House already had a backup plan when this day eventually came.
Yep. Yeah, and they do. This is not the end of the tariff issue. The Trump administration plans on pursuing very similar tariffs that will be the people that are asking for refunds now. You're going to have to hold check your pocketbook, because the Trump administration is going to use other acts to try and do the same exact thing. Now, it's going to be more difficult because the other acts that are in place have a much narrower definition of when a tariff can take place. But, by all accounts, this is not the end of the story.
Okay.
Interesting.
Can we get your opinion on this? There's a movement in the legislature to make pot smoking the odor that is left behind. Some would even maybe say the stench of the what you smell, to make it, add it to the nuisance laws. So we just had the sheriff here. Is it a nuisance if somebody's playing loud music, banging your eardrums out, and they're right next door and it's midnight? Is it a nuisance if you can smell a smell that really bugs you?
Well, think of secondhand smoke when you're someone smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have two takes on this. The first is this, that the law as it's enacted or going to be enacted, it presumes the nuisance, meaning that it presumes the harm. Like it's saying that you're guilty and you're going to have to prove that it's not a nuisance. So if there's excessive smell, and excessive odor is not defined, you have to prove that it's not harmful, as opposed to the prosecutor proving that it's harmful. So they shift the burden to the person making the smell. And the opponents, the people against the law are saying, well, why don't you do this for cigarette smoke or bonfires or any other type of odor? Why are you focusing only on the marijuana smoke? Now, the conservative side is saying, well, we have a choice not to smoke marijuana, and we should have a choice not to have to smell it either. We don't want our kids smelling those odors and all the psychedelic effects of the smoke. But what this is really about, and this is kind of a different take, is this isn't really about marijuana. It's about voter-approved initiatives. And the Arizona State Legislature not having the power to amend the initiative, so they're going on a workaround to really pull out all the teeth. So, the voters enacted, marijuana as legal to smoke in most instances. But this is just a workaround to penalize and criminalize smoking marijuana. And it's a test case, because if this can happen to marijuana and that voter initiative, it can happen to any voter initiative, because now they won't have to actually file an amendment to change the law. They can just they can just enact, new workarounds, new legislation to work against it, like this, this odor law that they want to enact.
Oh, interesting.
It reminds me of what's happening in Washington State right now. Voters for 100 years or almost have voted down income taxes every single time. They don't have a state income tax. So the legislature is trying to pass one now and immediately get it into the court system, thinking they have a friendly state Supreme Court who will simply allow it to go into effect.
Yes, and that's similar to what would happen here.
Yes.
Yeah. So if they enact this law, it would go before, the Superior Court or Supreme Court eventually, and if it passes muster, then it's essentially criminalizing smoking marijuana, because the odor itself now becomes a criminal offense. Yeah. And again, they don't even define what strong odor is.
I guess unless vapes don't create smoke.
Yeah, if you smoke good marijuana that doesn't have a lot of, then you're fine. It's only the skunky cheap weed where you're going to get hammered on.
There's all these workarounds, like you mentioned, on both sides.
Yeah, if you use a vape pen or some type of,
Well, all right.
No smoke.
So, Josh, there are almost 30% of the folks who are saying, leave pot smokers alone. Too bad if the smell bugs you. Here's a chance for you to let us know what your feeling is about this. Grab that QR code. 54% say, look, I'm all for it. I can't stand the smell of pot. 18% saying, we do not need another new law, but I just wish smokers realized how bad it smells to other people. Celeste, what are you seeing on YouTube?
This is very much a different story here when we look at it on YouTube. Okay. So the last one, we don't need a law, just wish smokers realized how bad it smells. That one coming in first at 41%, 33% with them all for it, and 26% with people leave pot smokers alone.
All right, give us your votes. Dave with your reaction next.